Welcome to the next video in architectural concept series. In last video we discussed high availability and fault tolerance concept, and today we are going to talk about RTO and RPO. Well, these are the very important concept when you are designing an DR strategy or disaster recovery plan. So you need to be aware of RPO and RTO. And these terms are you'll come across whenever you study Azure or AWS or any kind of the cloud platform. In Azure, we have ASR, which gives you the disaster recovery plan. So let's understand the RPO and RTO first. Well, both are the recovery points with respect to the time. Okay, so RPO is recovery point objective. It means the amount of data that your company can lose whenever disaster occurs, or rather is okay to lose or can tolerate to lose when disaster comes. For example, if in your company backup happens at 11 p.m. every day and disaster occurs at 3 a.m., then your RPO is 4 hours. You lost the data from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. because 11 p.m. was the last successful backup. That's why you have lost 4 hours of data. So ideally, we all focus to lower the value of RPO and RTO. So to minimize the value of RPO, what you gotta do, you gotta increase the frequency of backups. That means cost. You gotta pay more for the backups every hour or every 5 minutes to reduce your RPO. In that particular scenario, you need to find out whether is it uh, is it the cost or is it the actual need for the application. These are also the business decision as good as the technical decisions. You should be aware you're not paying more for your DR plan, but you're not getting out as much as you're paying. Okay, so this is something that you need to understand. You can minimize it. To minimize it, you need to pay more money. Okay, and ideally the decision comes from your business leaders how much they can spend as per the criticality of your application. Okay, so RPO is recovery point objective. It is like how much a business can tolerate to lose, the maximum time between a failure and the last successful backup. Okay, very good. Now let's understand RTO. Well, it's the recovery time objective. That simply means maximum amount of time a system can be down, or it's the time taken to get your application up and running. So ideally, it means let's get back to the same example as I mentioned here. Successful backup happens at 11, disaster occurs at 3, and at 10 a.m. your applications are back online, up and running. Okay, so your RTO is 7 hours. But the point is, RTO is not technical, it involves a lot of variables. Okay, for example, suppose it's a hardware failure, then it involves buying another hardware. That involves cash if you do not have the spare hardware. Okay, suppose if the OS or the instance gets corrupt, you need to reinstall the application components and all other relevant factors. But who is doing that? That means people. So another important component is people. Do they necessarily have those skills? Do they have their documentation with them? Do they have their system login? If they are not working from office, if they're working from home, so do they have their solid internet connection? All those kind of things are involved in RTO. So that's what the RTO is. And ASR provides you as low as 30 seconds of RPO. If I show you, this is the replication policy. This is 24 hours. Okay. And one more thing that reminds me, app consistent snapshot. It's 1 hour, as low as 1 hour. In every 1 hour, it will give you app consistent snapshot, and crash consistent snapshot would go in every 5 minutes. But if you move your mouse here, it would show you can select 0 to 72 hours for our recovery point retention. That is RPO, and it shows here recovery point continuous replication to Azure VM VMware. The replication frequency as low as 30 seconds for Hyper-V. And the beauty is, if you're ready to spend a lot of money, you can reduce your RTO by integrating Azure Traffic Manager. That means up to 0. Your A side down, Traffic Manager would send all the traffic to the B side. So there are a lot of things that you can play around with the value of RPO and RTO, but you first need to understand what it is and what all variables or what all things can affect the RPO and RTO. So I hope both the concept is clear, what is RPO and what is RTO. Both is respect to time, one for data, one for recovery back in time. Okay, so I guess that's all for today. Thank you for watching. You have a good day. Bye-bye.